So this particular part is over, and now we enter into the details of OB, or organizational behavior. Let's understand what is OB. And OB can be understood as the study of human behavior in the workplace. We know that human being or human resource is the most important resource of an organization. And in order to utilize that resource very effectively for the attainment of goals of an organization, the managers have to understand the human behavior. So OB can be understood as the study of human behavior in the workplace. So here in organizational behavior, we are concerned about the behavior of employees in the workplace. We are not much worried or bothered about the behavior of employees in their private life. Surely their private life may be influencing or affecting the behavior in the workplace, but we are much concerned about the behavior in the workplace. The other one is the investigation of the impact that individuals, groups, and structure have on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge toward improving an organization's effectiveness. So this says organizational behavior tries to investigate the effect of individuals, groups, and structure. Three aspects: the individual, the groups, which is a collection of individuals, and structure, in which these individuals and groups work. What is the effect of these individuals, groups, and structure on behavior within organizations? And this investigation is being carried out with the purpose of applying such knowledge, applying such understanding for improving an organization's effectiveness. So ultimately, OB is concerned about improving the organization's effectiveness. In order to improve the organization's effectiveness, we try to understand the behavior of individuals, the behavior of groups, and the organizational structure as such. And the theories of OB have widespread applications. And understanding various theories of organizational behavior can help us to promote the well-being of employees. If you know the theories of behavior, you can promote the well-being of your employees. Or you can evaluate solutions proposed by consultants and managers. When you face a problem, you may appoint a consultant to find out solution for your problem. And if you know the theories of organizational behavior, the solutions suggested by consultants and managers can be evaluated more efficiently. And the third point, organizational behavior theories can be useful in predicting what will happen in your organization. What is the future? What will be the future of your organization? That can be predicted by understanding or knowing the theories of organizational behavior. And ultimately, all these things can influence the direction of your organization, whether your organization will progress in future, or whether it will deteriorate in future. It will go down in future. So you can understand the future direction of your organization. And normally a question arises whether this organizational behavior can be understood just by common sense. Or in other words, there may be an opinion that no systematic study is required to understand the behavior of employees. Rather, using our common sense, we can understand the behavior of employees in the organization. So, the behavior of an employee can be predicted. We may be in a position to predict the behavior of employees. A particular person may behave in such a manner, such a way. We may be in a position to predict that. But always we have to understand the situation in which an employee works. So you have to, or we have to understand the circumstances. Only by understanding the situation in which an employee works, we can predict the behavior. So we should have clear understanding of the situation in which an employee works, and based on that understanding, we may be in a position to predict the behavior of an employee. So we suggest a contingency approach. That means always human behavior depends on certain contingencies, or certain situations, or certain context, behavior in context. And in organizational behavior, we are not going for certain absolute principles. Rather, we look at certain consistencies. Whether this particular pattern was there for a particular period of time, whether there is a consistency in a particular type of behavior. There may not be any absolutes. Rather, we look at organizational behavior, looks at consistencies. In other words, individuals may differ in their behavior. But in organizational behavior, we look at what is common about behavior. What is common in the situation, in the behavior of employees. And by looking at the common aspect, common dimension of the behavior, we can predict the behavior of employees, how they may behave in future. So, in organizational behavior, we look at consistencies, continued patterns. That is what we look at consistencies mean. And organizational behavior requires a systematic study. Here we say it is not just common sense. It is something beyond common sense. It requires a systematic study. And only by that systematic study we can understand the situation. And by understanding the situation we can predict the behavior. So, understanding circumstances and predicting behavior requires systematic study. So, as part of that, we have to look at certain relationship, how the factors influence the behavior of employee. What may be the reason behind that? Attempting to attribute causes of behaviors, the effect of certain behaviors, and arriving at conclusion based on scientific evidence. So in other words, we are trying to say in the third point, OB requires systematic study, that OB is not just common sense, rather it requires a very systematic, serious analysis of situation and a systematic study for that. So ultimately we can conclude this point by saying that the field of OB seeks to replace intuitive explanations with systematic study. So it is not something intuitive. Intuitive means a feeling without any solid evidence. So I can predict the behavior of a particular person without any base. But through the understanding of the principles of hobby, we try to replace such baseless expectations with systematic study. We try to study the background, the situation. We try to look at the pattern of behavior of employees in the organization, and on the basis of that systematic study, we try to predict the future behavior of employees. So, OB tries to replace intuitive explanations with systematic study. And the next topic we would like to cover is certain challenges that are faced in the workplace. And when we think about challenges, we can say there are three levels of challenges. The lower level or the first level is individual level challenge, followed by group level challenge. And the third level is organizational level. All the three levels are interrelated also, interrelated. And all these levels, challenges in various levels influences the workplace behavior. For example, in the individual level, job satisfaction, satisfaction of an employee, the level of satisfaction he gets out of his job is very important. And what is the level of empowerment? How much he is empowered through the job? What is his ethical level of behavior? All these are individual level challenges influencing the workplace behavior. For example, suppose an employee is not at all ethical in his behavior. He may not find fault in stealing the organizational properties. Every day when he goes home, he may steal some of the organizational properties. Ultimately, that will affect the organization. So it is very important that employees should behave ethically. They should be satisfied with their job. So there are individual level challenges. And surely the next level is group level. There we have to understand that every employee of an organization should be comfortable in working with others. If they are not comfortable in working with others, surely the workplace may be a headache for them. And surely another challenge faced by today's global situation is a workforce diversity. For example, in a multinational company, the workforce is very diverse. There may be an employee from India, there may be another person from America, there may be a person from Africa. Their culture differs, their behavioral pattern differs, and that diversity can have an effect in the performance of the employees. Ultimately, it is a challenge in the workplace, workforce diversity. And at the organizational level, there are various challenges such as productivity. Every organization tries to have maximum productivity. They are also concerned with developing effective employees. Then today's organizations are facing competition globally, global competition. It is not a local competition, rather they are facing global competition, and they have to manage in the global village. So these are organizational level challenges, and the challenges that differ every moment. The level of challenge increases day by day. So the manager should be concerned about facing these challenges the workplace should be a place to fulfill or satisfy the challenges of both individual level, group level, and organizational level. So in order to conclude this particular point, we have to understand that there are so many challenges in today's organizations. In this context, or by understanding these challenges only, we have to think about the behavior of managers in the organization. So these challenges should be clearly understood by each one of us.